able to follow all of them. So what can we do here? Well, we can pick up a mana elf, and green actually is good in this cube. Land tax is okay. Keranos is a strong multicolored card, but does kind of put you into two colors from the get-go. I think the pick is between Elves of Deep Shadow, Keranos, Yosei, and the lands. I don't think I want to pick up a land tax, at the very least not to start. Banefire isn't going to do too much for us here. So what do we want to start with? I will say I definitely have an affinity for elves. I love elves. Played in Legacy, this card is great for like a Birthing Pod deck or something of the like as well. So that's very up my alley. Keranos is powerful, but let's take an Elves of the Deep Shadow and see if we can't combo off with that. That is an Ajani Caller of the Pride. Well, what else are we looking at here? We've got the double Eternal Witness monster. It's a pretty good, like, Green Sun Zenith target. Reasonable big ramp card. Let's see. I think I can make these cards a little bit bigger, which also might help in terms of people that don't know exactly what all the cards do here. So, let's see. It's like Green Warden, Garruk, or Qasali Pridemage. None of these cards are really that impressive. People like Shardless Agent too. I'm not the biggest fan. Peace Ginyu, thanks for hanging out. I think I will take a Green Warden of Murasa. I haven't really played with this card that much, so I think it might be good. It's hard to tell. Elder Deep Fiend could be sweet. Dark Confidant is super powerful. A little less powerful in green, but Rofellos is one of the most rewarding cards for mono green ramp. We also completely cut off green by taking Rofellos. Chain Lightning is a solid card. Dismember is a solid card after that. But I think it's really just between Dark Confidant and Rofellos seems infinitely more synergistic with the cards that we've grabbed thus far. So I am pretty happy with that. Here we can grab a card that should have been banned in Standard versus a card, two cards actually, that were banned in Standard. So some pretty powerful cards here. I love me some Emrakul. I don't know what it is, but I just love me some Emrakul. Even if this card actually costs 13, I just love saying, like, Emrakul, spaghetti. I love playing, like, the most powerful thing ever created here. Utopia Sprawl, also pretty strong. And Thragtusk is a sweet one. It's already on color. But we've got Rofellos. We're going to have the mana to cast whatever the fuck we want, right? So I say let's go for it. We can grab a Search for Tomorrow. I think we're pretty solidly in green right now. This will lock up green for us. Gilded Lotus is potentially better ramp, though it is hard to replace just turn 1 effects here. Other powerful cards, we've got the newly banned Gitaxian Probe, but Search for Tomorrow seems like some sweetness. There's what Soren Markov looks like. I feel like I have to like just show you what the arts are on the cards that just don't display, which is like Planeswalkers and some Eldrazi. So we can take a Reclamation Sage. I think this might actually be a good Garruk deck. If you play a turn 2 Rofellos, you can actually play a turn 3 Garruk just off of basic forests. So that seems pretty solid to me. Let's go ahead and grab a Garruk. Nature's Lure is solid ramp. It does get us a forest, so it means things like Stomping Grounds and Taiga can also be fetched off of it. Moloku's a good power sink, and then just Courser of Kruphix. Solid card kind of against everybody. Alright, I'll take Courser of Kruphix. It draws you cards, it gains you life. It even attacks and blocks. I also love Green Ramp in Legacy Cube. I also like Green Ramp in Vintage Cube just because sometimes it is just like infinitely open, like nobody's drafting it. Xenagos is a ramp card. So it's either Xenagos or Lotus Cobra here. I don't know. I mean, we don't have any fetch lands, but I think we're going to look for fetch lands, especially with Courser of Kruphix. And then we're back around to this. I would love to Summoning Trap out some Spaghetti. Garruk Wield as well. Alright, so, just like in Vintage Cube here, we are literally the only person at the table playing green. We can take an Elder Deep Fiend. I think we might just want one removal spell in the form of Dismember. We are actually the only person right now playing green. So we have somehow cut it off from the entire table. Like, actually, nobody's playing green. We gave the person we're passing to a Keranos, so they're going to wind up in Grixis or Esper or even just blue-red. Or not Grixis or Esper. I meant Grixis or Jeskai. Alright, let's do it up. Are any of these good? Attrition could actually be okay, just because we've got, like, shitty small creatures that we could then turn into removal spells, but hey, if it ain't broke. You really do actually want to be mono green with Rofellos. And the fact that somebody passed us a Rofellos too means that they are trying to send us the signal to go mono green. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty good shot at grabbing some green creatures here. We get a Relic, which is like also playable somehow. Wow, just wound up with 15 playables out of the first pack. That's pretty nutty. Maybe not quite 15, but we are pretty close. Sure. Just so that we can say we have 15 playables. Probably not going to play Tanglewire, but Tanglewire does work if you are able to leverage a mana advantage over your opponent. Turn 1 Elves of Deep Shadow, turn 2 Tanglewire kind of locks them out for a little bit, and then you can play a Rofellos or Lotus Cobra and kind of get yourself out of it in short order. And you also just don't have to cast it turn 2 when it's not effective. You can wait till, like, turn 3, when it actually makes sense to cast the card. Let's make these guys a little bit bigger here. Oh, I can make those pretty big. That's sweet. So yeah, we already have a lot of good cards. Well, Devoted Druid is a favorite card of mine, though I'm not sure anybody's going to take it. At the same time, I really, really, really love me some Devoted Druid. It is partially a combo with Lotus Cobra and letting you play 5-drops on turn 3 here. Master of the Wild Hunt is removal. I don't even think there's anything else in this pack that we'd want to really play. I could take Temple Garden and then just hope to wheel one or both of these green cards, which I also don't think is super unreasonable. Right now we've got Search for Tomorrow, Utopia Sprawl, Elves of Deep Shadow, and Lotus Cobra as a means to splash some cards here. Hinterland Harbor is good, but not as good because it doesn't work with Rofellos. So I think I might just take Temple Garden. I don't know what card we'd be looking to splash. Maybe something, not quite a Sigarda, right? Probably, honestly, like a Path to Exile kind of effect. Well, if that's the case, maybe we should just take Devoted Druid or Master of the Wild Hunt. I'll take Devoted Druid. There we go, baby. We did it. All right, let's see if we can make this work. There's the Birthing Pod. There's also a Savannah, which is pretty good. This makes your Battle Cries trigger twice, but I have to grab a Birthing Pod. I could even go so far as to, like, not even play these cards right here, but I am 100% slamming Birthing Pod. We'll see what will come out of that. We might not even get anything great because, like, mono green kind of limits the efficacy of Pod at least a little bit. And this is okay. It's a reclaim effect. I think I'm going to snap off a Fauna Shaman here, though. Trigon Predator would be good. We already missed up on Reclamation Sage. I think we're going to get something that will help affect us with Birthing Pod, though, so we don't have to do anything too crazy looking for it. Noxious Gearhulk would be good. I'm just going to take a Fyndhorn Elves, though. Fyndhorn Elves is pretty good. Craterhoof Behemoth is great in mono green. It's not exactly great with Pod, because we would need a 7 to ramp into it. Could also play Wolfear Silverheart. You go Wolfear Silverheart. Turn 2 Devoted Druid, turn 3 Wolfear Silverheart, and then you make 4 more mana, play a Garruk, kill off your Devoted Druid, and Soul Bond Wolfear Silverheart with the token. That's a pretty crazy thing that you can do. I think I just want to take the most powerful card here, though, and that is Craterhoof Behemoth. And we'll figure out exactly how that will work out in a second. Alright, so Eldritch Evolution. We can turn a 6-drop into a Craterhoof Behemoth. This exiles itself. Also turn a 6-drop into Vorinclex. And Duskwatch Recruiter is also really good. I think I'm going to take Eldritch Evolution, and I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled for 4 and 5-drop 6 green creatures to kind of fill out the curve here. Vorinclex also really good. Pelucranos and Duskwatch Recruiter also really good, but I don't know. This just seems sweet. We're going to wheel all these green cards anyways. Nobody else in this draft, like I said, is taking any green cards. So we're just going to have all the green mana. And we'd want to pick up, like, an Acidic Slime, an Oracle of Moldiah. There are some 4-drops in Pelucranos and some other stuff that we could potentially wheel. Huntmaster of the Fells. Well, that is a pretty solid 4-drop, pretty solid with Birthing Pod. I think we'll take that over Rampant Growth here. We don't really need that much more ramp. We can make do with this with 1 basic mountain. We've got a Search for Tomorrow, a Utopia Sprawl, a Lotus Cobra, as well as a Birthing Pod and an Eldritch Evolution, potentially being the means to actually play the Huntmaster. What do we have to sacrifice in order to get out Emrakul? We need to sacrifice an Ulamog. That doesn't seem super likely that we sacrifice an Ulamog to Eldritch Evolution out in Emrakul. And there is a pretty big fatty boom boom in Tooth and Nail and Mere Battlesphere, but you know what? I kind of feel like we want to take a 5-drop here. I do also have to read this card. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you can draw a card if it's the biggest creature. Okay, let's just take a Deranged Hermit. It's going to be a 5-drop. It's going to occupy a pretty good spot for us on the board here. Oh wait, I don't know why I was thinking this is... I have to Eldritch Evolution... Oh shit. Well, that was a mistake. Sorry about that. Didn't realize how low we were on time. Maybe we'll play this card. But yeah, just kind of messed up there. Well, damn. Alright, well, we still need to find a 5-drop. We did get Huntmaster of the Wild. And we are definitely confirmed the only person in green at this entire table. I wonder if somebody else will move into green when they see all of those green cards in the 1 pack, but I have a feeling we're gonna get away with something pretty nasty here. I don't know if I'm going to play this card. It seems kind of random. I mean, you get to draw cards, so that aspect's good. Really wish it was a deranged hermit, though, that's for sure. Now we need to grab, like, an acidic slime, or there's some other things that we could potentially grab instead of it. Also don't love that we just kind of lagged out there, but looks like we're back in it. Overgrown Battlement as a 2-drop. That sounds good enough to me. The Panharmonicon seems like it would be sweet in this deck. I mean, everything is a creature with an enters the battlefield ability, but if we can just kind of shore up our curve here. Bad creatures are still good because we can Eldritch Evolution them, and we can Birthing Pod them away, and Fauna Shaman them away. So all of those things still work out pretty well here. And absolutely nobody even wants to touch green. We could take a Trigon Predator as a solid 3-drop, and I think I am going to take that over a Rootbound Crag. I think we'll be able to figure out how to make the mana for Trigon Predator to work here. Mana fixing is pretty good. The deck may have been better off just without this, but... Oh, I guess we did have this guy as a 3-drop. I probably shouldn't have moved him over there to troll myself. Maybe we don't need the Trigon Predator then. This deck is already at 23 cards now, so now every card we grab, we get to cut something. Biggest thing we want, Mana Dudes. I would like another 5-drop or 2 to fit in there. Den Protector's probably going to get cut. We cannot really do all that much with it. It's also just a little bit of an expensive card for what it offers. So, not super enticed by that. We definitely want fetch lands and other lands that we're going to be able to use here to support our Huntmaster and Trigon Predator. We could even cut Emrakul pretty easily. Right now, Summoning Trap also just gets Craterhoof Behemoth and Emrakul. Wolfear Silverheart. I forgot, we are the only player drafting green, so we missed on the 1 green card, and I don't think Deranged Hermit's going to wheel back around. Wasn't paying attention to how many cards were in that pack. Wow, we even get Vorinclex. 2 other green cards in that pack were taken. It was a Pelucranos and something else. But I don't think we're going to get Deranged Hermit here, right? I can't imagine that we do. That would feel pretty lucky. No, but we do get Rampant Growth. Okay, maybe we play Rampant Growth. It's good at helping us splash these other cards. We did just add 3 cards to the deck and not cut anything. We can cut this, I believe. We'll probably wind up cutting the Trigon Predator as well if we can get another better 3-drop. And we can also cut this combo, though Summoning Trap for Vorinclex does now give us another better Summoning Trap target. So that's not too shabby either. What are some other things that we might actually want to pick up? If anything is like really good with Birthing Pod, and I'm trying to think of exactly what that would be. Deceiver Exarch might be fine, you know, just skip by the 3s, go right to the 4s. We're not going to pick up Kiki Jiki at this point, and we already passed a Splinter Twin. But, I don't know, feeling pretty good being the only green player. Well, Green Sun Zenith. How do you not? What does this guy do? If you control a bunch of creatures, you can give something haste. Don't really need to do that. Emrakul doesn't need haste. And neither does Craterhoof Behemoth. So, I guess it's good with Wolfear Silverheart, but I don't think I'm going to take that. It's really Taiga or Green Sun Zenith. Oh, there is also Kiora's Follower. Oh, God. Kira's follower is so good with Birthing Pod. And it's a ramp dude. Oh, that would be so sweet. I have a feeling, though, that I'm just going to be able to do something like this. The Sylvan Caryatid kind of gets us back in it here. Is there anything else that we'd want to play? Maybe Nah, we wouldn't play Farseek over Caryatid. It would just be Lightning Bolt. Catacomb Sifter seems cool. Mirror Entity is a reasonable creature to pod out. But let's just take a Sylvan Caryatid. It's going to mean we can cut Rampant Growth. We could even cut Overgrown Battlement, though they are a combo in conjunction with each other. We'll see. We'll see. I think I like just going green here. Oh gosh. Gaia's Cradle, which also has the benefit of just being a land, so it doesn't really detract from our other picks. Yavimaya Elder is a pretty gnarly 3-drop for Birthing Pod. It does also color fix, but I'm just going to take Gaia's Cradle here. And I think that that makes a lot of sense. Being able to cradle. Oh, the Prime Time. The Prime Time is maybe the best card to trap out. It's not going to get us anything that great. Would it be crazy to take a Phyrexian Metamorph here over Primeval Titan? Phyrexian Metamorph, I feel like, can actually do some pretty good work here. I can counter some dumb shit my opponent plays. There's also Song of the Dryads for, like, a reasonable removal spell. But... It's not really a 4-drop for Eldritch Evolution. It is a 4-drop for Birthing Pod. I guess this is just crazy, right? You just have to take Primeval Titan. The card is still pretty good, and it's going to let us cast these other cards. It makes the whole big mana theme of the deck work out. Well, there's also the fact that Avenger of Zendikar and Primeval Titan are like the 2 best cards in conjunction with each other. We'd be passing up a Misty Rainforest here, but how am I not going to play an Avenger of Zendikar? Maybe it'll wheel? I don't want to chance it wheeling. I know we already have a bunch of dumb shit on the top of the curve here. I could probably cut Emrakul. Like, I just don't even need it at this point. Could probably even cut Garruk. I'm going to cut this one, I think. The Birthing Pod has actually seemed like it's not... The Birthing Pod is seeming like it's not actually super, like, panning out here. You can turn Avenger into Craterhoof, which is pretty nasty. I think I'll keep around Birthing Pod just to see what madness it can do. We'll have to cut one more card. Maybe I just cut Green Warden? It's fine. Yeah, just potting into a Primeval Titan is probably fine enough. And Summoning Trap into Green Warden is the only one that really works because Eldritch Evolution kills itself. Well, this is a pretty good 5-drop. I think I will grab that. I could also take Ulamog here, though this isn't even the best Ulamog. Oh wait, no it is. You get to exile 2 permanents. Oh, it's definitely the best Ulamog. Sure. I'll take Whisperwood. And then at that point, I'm cutting Garruk. Okay. I guess I can put Garruk back in if he's the best card, because Gaia's Cradle means that we only have 23 spells right here. This is pretty crazy. I've never had a color be just like this open. But we are actually the only person in the world drafting green. Kitchen Finks is definitely going to be my pick here. This is a all-star with the pod. And We just get to pod right through it. So that means that we will probably want to cut Garruk Primal Hunter. What are our other 5 drops? We don't have any. I do maybe want to reconsider Huntmaster, though. There's a lot of ways to cheat it out, and I think this card is pretty solid. We can also Fauna Shaman it away if it's absolutely terrible. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to put it into play. Yeah. We want to be able to pod through it. So let's hang on to Huntmaster. Let's cut Garruk so we can just pod right up to Craterhoof Behemoth. Scavenging Ooze is real good. Sylvan Library is insane. Oh god, guys. I think it's got to be Sylvan Library. That card just solves any problems that a green deck would ever think of having. We already have to cut 1 card right now, though. That's the crazy thing. So that's probably like Overgrown Battlement. And then we take Sylvan Library. We could just take Scavenging Ooze against a Reanimator deck or something. Have a little bit of a sideboard card. But Sylvan Library just seems so powerful that I think we have to take it. We don't need any of these things here. We could, like I said, we're going to wheel the Kiora's Follower too. It is good with Gaia's Cradle. It's good with Birthing Pod. There's a lot of synergies with it. Maybe we will try to make it work, which would mean we'd put in the Trigon Predator, which also gives us answers to weird other things our opponents are going to be doing, like artifacts and enchantments. Maybe Scavenging Ooze was just better, just as a random sideboard hate card. I don't even need to play the Huntmaster, but it does work so well with this other stuff that we're doing. This deck seems pretty powerful. I almost don't even feel like I need Fauna Shaman in this deck. This deck has to cut 4 cards, though, right now. Or, I'm sorry, 3 cards. So maybe I just cut the 3 multicolored cards, right? Or maybe I just play a Farseek, and we make it work. Oh, wait, I also have a Rampant Growth here, don't I? Did I get Rampant Growth? I did. Wow. Alright, so I guess I will take Ratchet Bomb, then. Not super likely to want Ratchet Bomb, but I definitely don't need Farseek if I'm already not playing this Rampant Growth. And I'm not convinced that I'm not playing Rampant Growth, but I think I'm going to cut Rampant Growth and Trigon Predator and Kiora's Follower. Wowie zowie, grabbed another 3-drop. Well, I mean, right, it's just open. There's no doubt about it. It is 100% open. I could play Mirari's Wake. That'll let me play some of the big stuff. I think I can cut Vorinclex. Let's take Yavimaya Elder. Let's cut Trigon Predator, Rampant Growth, Kiora's Follower. Wow, it is giving me another choice of 4-drop. Now, Phyrexian Metamorph is an interesting choice of 4-drop because you get it out, it'll just copy Kitchen Finks, and then it'll be a 3-drop, so it kind of clogs you there. Do I just want Reflecting Pool? No, I'm going to take Phyrexian Metamorph. I don't need a Reflecting Pool for... Oh, wait, was that a Reflecting Pool or a Mana Confluence? I think it was a Mana Confluence, right? If that was a Reflecting Pool, I definitely don't need it. If it was a Mana Confluence, I think I can also still get away with not needing it. Yeah, I knew Oath of Nissa was going to wheel as well, but I didn't want to risk Avenger of Zendikar not wheeling because that is just such a huge late game monster there. So 26 cards, which means we've got 25 spells. So I want to look at cutting 2 of these cards here. Opponent can steal something. Let's just... No, nobody's going to play Bedlam Reveler. We'll take Old Man of the Sea. And what's our last pick? Is it going to be another playable? It is going to be an on-color card at the very least. Not quite a playable. How do we trim this deck down? We've got only to make 2 cuts. Huntmaster of the Fells, I think, fills a very important role in the deck. So I think we want to hang on to that one. Summoning Trap can get Avenger, Craterhoof Behemoth, and... yeah, this is what we need. We needed this deck to be color sorted. Let's sort by converted mana cost. We could also... we've got 3 1-drops already. Do we need a 4th in Search for Tomorrow? I don't know. If we don't play Search for Tomorrow, then we're probably not even going to play a basic mountain. So do we want Huntmaster? We could cut Search and Huntmaster. That's actually not that crazy, maybe. Though Search is better than Utopia Sprawl, isn't it? I guess they're about the same. Yeah, I guess they are about the same. Don't actually know which one's better. I guess Search is better with Rafellos. So maybe Search is better than Utopia Sprawl. We cut Sprawl and Huntmaster. You know what? Actually, we didn't get any fetch lands. Alright, see you, Lotus Cobra. That is another color fixer, though, as well. The Overgrown Battlement is just better than Lotus Cobra here, so we could play Overgrown Battlement in its place. Overgrown Battlement is also a good anti-aggressive card. None of these are great pod targets, but they both turn into Avenger of Zendikar. We're playing Huntmaster pretty much because it's a good pod target. We could also cut pod, but I can't do that. Maybe some other players can cut Birthing Pod from their decks. You know what we could actually cut, though, is Eldritch Evolution. The poor man's pod. We could play this. Could play this, and we would be running a 16-land deck. But 16 lands is pretty light for a deck with Emrakul in it. We do have Relic of Progenesis as Graveyard Hate as well. And like now that I've cut Eldritch Evolution, now I'm looking at cutting Huntmaster of the Fells as well again. How many cards do we have to play on turn 2? We've got 4 ramp for turn 1, 4 ramp for turn 2. I like those numbers, actually. Leaning towards just cutting Huntmaster. It's going to mean that if we draw Rafellos and our opponent doesn't have a Lightning Bolt, we just win. Like, we pretty much just win on the spot. It means that we only have 1 card here for Birthing Pod. But as crazy as this seems, podding a Primeval Titan into an Avenger into a Craterhoof Behemoth, I think that's actually like pretty insane. You pod into Primetime, you swing with it, it turns into Avenger, and then it turns into Craterhoof Behemoth. And the fact that we can do that means that podding away Whisperwood Elemental, also not that crazy. And podding away a Master of the Wild Hunt in the same way also turns out to be not that crazy. So in that case, we're cutting Huntmaster of the Fells. We're going straight mono green, taking it to the grave. Do we want another summoning trap target? Do we want an Emrakul the Promised End? I kind of do. I kind of really do. We don't need Vorinclex, I don't think. I could just cut this birthing pod. If you cut the birthing pod, it does kind of free you up, right? There's like so many different ways to build this deck. What if we cut birthing pod, Kitchen Finks, Wolfir Silverheart, put in Garruk Primal Hunter, Emrakul, Vorinclex, and Rampant Growth. And then we have to cut one more card. I guess Vorinclex. Vorinclex is actually like the least impressive card that I can summoning trap into. So I'm just thinking like this puts us on a more conventional ramp strategy. What else did I put in? Okay, Rook. This puts us more on a conventional ramp strategy and doesn't actually seem all that bad. Wait, where's our Green Sun Zenith? Oh, we don't get it. Oh, what happened to Green Sun? Did I misclick it? And get something else instead? That's kind of awkward. I feel like this deck definitely should have had a Green Sun Zenith in it, right? I didn't take a land over it. Oh well. I won't stress out about it, but I'm like... I was pretty sure this deck had a Green Sun Zenith in it at one point. So I guess just the question is, what gives us a more consistent deck, right? And it's not actually super clear. This deck still has to cut one more card from it, though. I think this gives us a reasonable deck. We'll cut this. We can always change it around a little bit. Oh, there's Green Sun Zenith. Okay, the card was just hiding out when I went to sort by color. That's a relief. Green Sun Zenith, don't you do that to me! Don't you do that to me, Green Sun Zenith. Alright, so this will be a 17-land deck. Let's... What? Why is it trying to give me a Plains? For Kitchen Finks? You trying to give me a Plains for Kitchen Finks, man? Alright. Here we go. All the forests. All the forests, and let's see. If this deck can't 3-0, then nobody should ever draft green. And maybe I'm, messing it up a little bit here with the Birthing Pod and the other cards that we're playing. But if this deck can't 3-0, this has got to be the best mono green deck that you can build. What am I missing? I mean, maybe you just shouldn't play mono green. But I'm missing, Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, and Birds of Paradise? That's it? I don't know. If this can't 3-0, then we should never play green again, because clearly everybody else is right. Green is absolute shit.